Dear God, it's me. I know that you are holy. I know that you are righteous. I know that you are good. But if I may, Lord, I have some things I'd like to contend with you. Lord, your word tells us to forgive. You tell us to love our enemies. You tell us to pray for those who persecute us. But what good will that do? When the wicked continue to prosper and the treacherous continue to thrive, when there are people that look at the color of my skin and they think to themselves that they'd rather see me dead than alive, Lord, how do you expect me to feel comfortable in the skin that I'm in when out of all the representation that is presented, none of them are a representation of me? How do you expect me to not perpetuate the stereotype of an angry black woman when angry is all that I know how to be? Lord, how do you expect me to love my neighbor unconditionally when my neighbors are the angry white mobs that somehow always manage to escape their guilty plea when they accuse, murder, and abuse, yet walk off scot-free? Lord, how do you expect me to turn the other cheek when they capitalize on cruelty and in their corruption use their manipulation to profit from our oppression, when they steal our culture, steal our credit, steal our confidence, and yet refuse to be snatched by a struggle? Nay, they refuse to acknowledge our struggle. They close their eyes and they clog their ears to our struggle. They tell us that we imagine our struggle. They have never even met real struggle. Lord, they're stealing our faces, but when it comes time to face the jeering faces, they hide away in their luxurious places while they leave us in the empty spaces where discrimination meets oppression, meets depression, meets hopelessness, meets defeats. Lord, how do you expect me to pray for these jackals who free us from our shackles, only for us to realize that these visible shackles have turned into invisible chains that bind us in the graveyards of poverty and lack of prosperity, so they can look into the eyes of our posterity just to cackle in their faces at the pain that they feel from what has been passed down from generation to degeneration? Lord, how do you expect me to not make the white man my enemy when all he does is come at my people with hatred and animosity? How do you expect me to stand strong in the face of opposition when my mind is telling me to just break down and give in, to just let the white man dig into the last bit of my dignity? How is it possible that I should look at all the pain, yet walk away uttering, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do? Dear God, what in the world do you want me to do? Because from where I'm standing, they know exactly what they do. They know exactly what they do. They know exactly what they do. I can no longer hide my tears. I can no longer stand against the fear that one day I may wake up without my sisters or my mother or have one of them lose me. But I'm worried sick about my brothers because the white powers that be have deemed them dangerous. They akin young, beautiful, brave black boys to monsters merely because of the color of their skin, merely because of the color of their skin. Lord, did you let that sink in? Young black boys are being shot, murdered, and dehumanized merely because of the color of their skin. Lord, if there was ever a time to make your promises ring true, it is now. I'm not commanding you, but I would like to remind you that your promises do ring true. You promise to overcome, you promise to avenge, you promise to destroy the wicked. You, God, you promise that you would make them lie in their own despicable bed every day. I lie in bed waiting for the day that we would have their heads. God, I know that you are good. I know that you are righteous. I know that you are good. I know that you are righteous, but Lord, why? All this time I've been asking how, but what I really want to know is why. Lord, I'm sorry, but all I have left is my heart wrung out in grief and disbelief. Honestly, I'm still reeling from the news that another young man has lost his running shoes.